All right. Yeah, we're back. Another episode, another week of the Trash Cast. Your host Matthias here, along with the boys.
John.
And I'm Will. And most importantly, this week we have finally confirmed that Matthias is psychic, as he wished upon a star for Plastic Redemptionist, and it's coming.
I know, right?
It's literally such an incredibly obscure thing. Not so obscure, I guess not obscure enough that they wouldn't make it, but it's shocking.
I am excited for it.
You should be,
It's
as your cognition brought it into reality. I would like to make requests of you. If you ever feel like wishing for a re-release of Archeon on a horse, hey, that would be great.
Yeah, I would love that.
That would be nice.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, and we can talk about it when we make our predictions for the preview.
Very true.
And then I could wish upon a star. But after that, because I want to get down to that business. We got a few other media things to talk about, so let's just jump right into that. So, I just wanted to quickly go over the Warhammer games, Steam games that they were giving out really fast, and the White Dwarf. So we did get it. And they're okay. I haven't played a lot of these, so I can't say which is good and what's not. Vermintide 2, I played. Left 4 Dead clone. Yeah. Warhammer Space Marine. I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good.
Old game, but great.
Old game, but great.
Hey, hold on Vermintide 2 really quick. You can kill Ungors in this game.
Yes, you can.
Ooh.
It's very important that can happen. You can punch Ungors in the face, and you can be a dwarf. So there's really a lot of very positive things happening there. But yeah, Space Marine is cool.
Yeah, there's no downplaying the game. Just for common terms, think Left 4 Dead, just Warhammer skin.
I mean, you're right. I can't be denied.
Looks like you get the original Dawn of War. I don't know if that includes all the sequels or not, but regular Dawn of War.
No, I think just the original Dawn of War.
And Total Warhammer. And I think it says Call of the Beastmen. Get the DLC for that. And that's all I've played. I don't know about the rest of the games, but
I played none of them either.
I tend to stay away from Warhammer games, really, because as I've stated in the past, majority of them are kind of trash. Or just reskins of other games. And
it's pretty trash.
I mean, Warhammer games are both a great and terrible thing, because Games Workshop, in an effort to have people know what the heck they are, sells a license to a lot of people. Some willing, not so willing, and occasionally excellent things happen. But Snotling Toss exists. That's a phone game.
Warhammer
Chess. You can still buy that. Yeah, like the Space Wolf game in particular, I remember being quite shocked at the quality. But that's okay, because I'm not a Space Wolf. And Matt kills Space Wolves all the time, so
that's what I like to do.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to quickly go over that because we did mention it. I don't know, I think like 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
But there you go. So if you want to go pick up a White Dwarf to pick up 12 games, I think the only expensive game here is Total War Warhammer. You'll probably be making a good deal out of it.
Also, if you get Total War Warhammer 1, it unlocks the Warhammer 1 races in Warhammer 2.
And in Warhammer
3. Even better.
But yes, there's that news. Next, we got more animation coming our way. And some partnering. I can't talk. Partnering up. I can't say words.
Partnering up?
Yeah, there you go.
Partnering?
Partinerate,
yes.
Partinerate.
Yeah, you got the guy who does Astartes teaming up with G-Dubs.
Yeah, all of his videos are now hosted on Warhammer Community, which is interesting. That we were talking a little bit about that before the cast, and that is And that's kind of a cool thing to just imagine. You are some guy who really like a thing, and then you make a bunch of cool video about the thing, and then the people who make the thing call you, and you're like, look at me, I'm the captain now.
Hey,
And now everybody gets to see your thing even more than they already did.
hey,
Though it sounds like there was some.
what you're making is more popular than what we're making, so why don't you just work for us?
Yeah, that's kind of just win-win situation for everybody.
Yeah. We got interesting things. It looks like we got the Tau, which is called the Exodite, I believe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I think it's gonna be Tau versus Eldar. Going by the other news that they released for the breakdown, it's just saying that we're gonna be seeing a bunch of Eldar family tree stuff.
Be kind of cool.
So
How do you feel about seeing CGI Eldar models before plastic Eldar models?
Oh, who knows? Maybe this will be like a quick insight to see what the new model designs will be.
Oh, there you go. Let's hope not, because this will probably not be out for a while.
Yeah.
Don't worry, 10th edition Eldar reskulls will come.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
But yeah, we got that. We got Iron Warriors against Dark Eldar, which I found interesting. I didn't think that would ever happen.
More Eldar.
Well, I didn't think Dark Eldar would be adapted in the film, at least not this early. Seeing how they're kind of meh.
Meh.
Well, in terms of GW standards, right? When they're trying to appeal, that's why they locked up Slanesh.
And they locked up Slanesh for like 8 minutes. Slanesh has been released with all the minis now.
She's been back.
But in terms you mean by like the Dark Eldar is too mature of a theme?
Going from the lore that I know, it'll be interesting to see where they go with. Though I assume we're just going to be mainly following the Iron Warriors here.
That probably makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
The thing that's interesting to me about that is like the Dark Eldar, from like an artistic standpoint, like it is actually one of the more distinctly Warhammery things. Like we don't often think of the things that are not in power armor when we think of like how the Warhammer brand is visually represented in people's minds, but like the Dark Eldar are pretty damn distinct. Like it's gonna be really cool. If we get to see like a real space raid, that'll be amazing.
On one hand, if this is 30K, oh boy, because that Iron Warrior does not look like Chaos Marine.
Yeah. That would be interesting.
It's very possible.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And
One can hope.
And then
it's
we got
cool because it's cool to me because like they basically took two enemies that are as different as possible. Like in terms of like a space marine that is absolutely not a pointy person on a jet bicycle. Like an Iron Warrior is definitely that.
Yeah.
That might be why they decided to do that.
well, it's got the construction pattern on it, so I could tell it's an Iron Warrior.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got the Astartes guys working on a Black Templar series, or a short, I should say.
That's pretty hype.
I'm looking forward to that one as well. All these are pretty hype. I'm looking, I think they're gonna do well.
The question is, would you guys pay for a subscription, like a Warhammer Disney Plus, to watch this?
There would have to be a lot of it.
I would say no. Because unfortunately right now in Warhammer media, they don't have enough to satisfy anything. And just for a dedicated Warhammer channel, no. It's just, plus, I mean, all these guys that they picked up that's partnering with are YouTube. We're on YouTube, so it's enough talented people get together, they can make great stuff for us for pretty much free.
Yeah, that's what I'm interesting about this. Is this being distributed for free simply just to be a marketing thing? Which, hey, is a good idea. in its own, or is this going to be? Are they going to make like a, you can purchase a license to, 2 hours of Warhammer anthology animations? How are they gonna release it into where? I believe they made public some time ago that they were planning on doing that Cal Jericho thing with like Netflix. I want to. So maybe that's where it would go. It would just be like an anthology film with all these animations in it.
It would be pretty cool if it was on Netflix. I wouldn't mind that.
I know. I mean, I don't know where it was going to be distributed, but I know there was talk of an Eisenhorn series.
Maybe it was Eisenhorn actually. Yeah, I don't know why I thought it was Cal Jericho. I don't even think Cal Jericho is cool. So
Wow.
this is way better. I mean, Cal Jericho sucks.
Dang, all right.
Come at
Those
me,
shots
Yak
being
Trabbers.
fired.
Yeah, no, they can't reach me through the internet as I'm only a disembodied voice anyway.
Yeah. Then, they did release some footage of the Exodite as well. Did you guys happen to look at that? What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean it all looks great. Like it's funny because this is yet another announcement for an animation teaser. Well, like they've since yet to make any of the previous animation teasers into actual things. Um, if memory serves, like they first announced all this like big Warhammer 40K animation department 2 Christmases ago, and we don't have so much as 5 minutes of anything.
Yeah.
It's I can understand that they're kind of trying to lay the track directly in front of the train on this, just because probably a lot of this stuff was. I mean, virtually everyone was impacted by the pandemic, right?
Right.
So like this probably slowed down whatever production they had put into motion, and I think they're just trying to trickle like more stuff just to remind people that it exists. And because they can't back out of it now. For good or for ill, they're going to have to finish this project and release it. At least one of them. So I don't think this is just going to go the way of some fan films, which just fizzle out and die. Like the company has put their stamp on it multiple times. Like they've committed this stuff will happen, and that's exciting. But the fact that it's just there's no release in sight, and it seems like they have so little to show that they maybe don't have very much done. It's a little hard to get excited about it. How do you feel about it, John?
It's exactly that. Like we haven't seen any full length anything, so it's like I mean, even okay, I'll be honest with you guys. Even when this started, I was just kind of like, cool. I wasn't very hyped about it, to be quite honest with you.
Mm.
Warhammer Animation isn't something I have desired. Like, I mean, I'm gonna like it, like especially if this Iron Warrior thing is 30K. Oh, you guys know how I feel about Horse Heresy, but
Yeah,
if it's good, if it's decent, if it's on Netflix, hell, if they had a streaming service that wasn't $30 a month, I would pay for it if all of this was here. But I mean, it's just one of those things where, like, cool, it exists, but it's not something I look forward to. The way I look forward to like model releases or even some video games like Warhammer 3. I'm super hype about that. But
yes, and they had things to show as well. Like we know that's going to happen. I mean, the Bellacore release, the Bellacore's not released, but the Bellacore preview, that's the model. We know it's going to happen.
Yeah, and honestly, even if we had a trailer, even if we had something like, I'm like, cool. We're just waiting for the show.
Yeah, I'm not someone who like takes trailers apart bit by bit. Like I just that's cool. That reminds me that something is happening. And I'm very interested, but not interested enough to actually like dwell on it. And I think that's the problem. There's just not enough to sort of take apart and like garner that much excitement for me. How do you feel about it, Matt? I mean, you're someone who knows about film quite intimately.
Well, I agree with you. A trailer is not too exciting, and then I'm not gonna go in there and be like, oh my god, that's a Tau stealth battle suit right there, and that's the Exodite homeworld or whatever. I don't care about that. I disagree with you on the fact that possibly only one of these would be made just because GW's committed. I think the fact that these are being partnered up with creative YouTubers, especially the Astartes one, I think they're gonna get done. I think as long as GW has some creative input in it, I think they're gonna be out. I'm not gonna give like
So,
a date, but I mean, I'm pretty sure all of them
but
will be made.
that's interesting. Yeah, I really was not 100% sure about that. But again, like I knew at least something would happen just because GW is a company and like they can't back out of it now. Like, but if you're confident that they would make all of them, I'm hoping you're right.
Well, right. I think it would be sad though if this was true, but if these three came out before the ones they announced like 2 Christmas ago, like you said, I mean, there's something wrong with the GW animation department as
Yeah,
a whole if these three new projects came out before those projects did.
yeah, and I do wonder. I mean, they may have just been stalled by real world events, but like we haven't heard anything else about those since they were announced. And uh, actually, something I'm not sure if I could even call these trailers.
Well, you can only call one of them a trailer, which is the Exodite, because that's actual something.
Yeah, and
Everything else is
it's
just a
even
poster.
yeah, even that is sort of like 37 seconds. I mean, it's a short film, so I guess that a short film probably is a pretty short trailer.
Yeah, well, I liked trailers that don't show too much.
Yeah, they don't want to get we don't want to give the whole movie away. As often it seems with like every like Tom Cruise trailer is like, well, now I know who the bad guy is. Like like all the mystery is gone. Like
I mean, going
um
with the Exodite trailer, all you know is there's Tau gonna go to a planet. I mean, unless you know what the Exodites are, you'll know that they're probably gonna go fight some Eldar. But even in the trailer breakdown, if you pull that up, I mean, they talk about how yeah, the Exodites, Eldar. Yeah, you're gonna be learning a lot about more the Eldar family tree and all that other stuff. Like, oh,
yeah,
okay, but that's knowledge you had to read about again, unless you already knew who the Exodites were.
right.
But yeah, I think as long as GW doesn't have too much, you know, doesn't hold the leash to them too tightly, I think these will be good and will be released. I don't know. I don't know a date because I don't do animation and I know that stuff takes a long time to do. But
Hmm.
I'm confident it will be made. And
Yeah.
like I said, it'll be sad if it get released before the other animations did.
I would be happy to see any of them, to be honest. Like this one is cool to me. It's funny in the article they mentioned 2003's Fire Warrior, which is a questionable product at the best of times, but it's cool that it's not the Imperium. Like it shows like the breadth of the Warhammer 40,000 universe a little bit more. I think it's a bold decision to make. And it sounds like it's going to have like no Imperium at all. It's just going to be space aliens fighting each other, and like I'm pretty down to watch that. Like that's cool. Um, so
Sounds like an
yeah,
imperial thing to say. Just watch the aliens
yeah.
kill each other.
Watching the aliens die, hey, that's what it's all about.
But yeah, I look forward to these. Unfortunately, it'll probably leave my mind until these things get brought back.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
kind of the thing.
that's kind of what happened with the other ones until they announced this.
Yeah. But that's the media news. Now we can talk about some model news that came up.
Hmm.
What's up? So we got Bellicor for 40k. It's interesting that they released his rules first for 40k. But looks like he's gonna be pretty beastly. Going with his damage here. I'll just skip all this filler. So he's getting the Nightbringer treatment, what it looks like. Morty, Nightbringer, anyone that's big that has 2 weapon profiles here. So he's getting a sweep and he's getting a super powerful attack, which ignores invul saves, just like the Nightbringer.
Mm.
And it'll be interesting to see what happens here. So currently he's like strength 6, so his piercing attack will be strength 10. That's gonna be pretty much one-shotting any infantry and pretty good vehicle destroyer right there. and anything with invulns is pretty much gone. He also has an ability to negate rerolls.
That's crazy good.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a
that's
monster.
super cool.
I think the max is 6 eradicators double tapping at him, do 5 wounds in melt range.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's always -1 to hit, so he'll have some survivability. I don't think the -1 is too great given how it works in this edition, and that being not being able to stack it. But anything to keep him alive.
The no rerolls I think is really good.
Oh, the no rerolls is gonna be nice.
Yeah, it's very powerful and also just very fluffy for like he is, like made of ephemeral shadow, like, weird undivided chaos energy. Like it's cool and it feels unique, and that is definitely something to be happy about, because it could have easily just been the -1 to hit and like it would have been like, yeah, okay, I get it. But this is pretty fluffy.
Yes. So it's looking like he'll be a beast. Do you think any other changes will come to him?
I think
currently right now he's at 8 wounds. Do you think
he's gonna be like 16 wounds or something to reflect the model? He's gonna be a Lord of War.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think, or Supreme Command. There's no way they're keeping the rest because the size of the model is so different. Like this guy is a bloodthirster in size, if not bigger. Actually, he is bigger. So I think
we've already seen the picture. It looks like he's a little shorter, but like he's comparable. But he totally could be like, as to your theory, John, of like everybody's going to get a Supreme Commander. I think this is going to be that for demons.
Yeah, I think
which makes sense.
His profile is going to be pretty big.
Yeah. So oops. Sorry about that. So, you think he'll be toughness 8 as well? That's the other rumor that's going around.
Yeah, 7 or 8. Toughness 8 would be amazing. I mean, honestly, I don't mind these big things be
tough to kill.
Tough, tough to kill. Like, that makes sense. AOS is kind of like that for a lot of big monsters. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind that at all. I would love it.
How many points will he be, I wonder? If you had to guess the ballpark, like, is he going to be 400?
Whatever Mortarian's cost is. And the Silent King, that ballpark.
Yeah, I was thinking, because right now the Nightbringer is about 390. So I was thinking around about 400 points.
Yeah.
400 to 420 is how many points I think he'd be. I don't think he'd be anywhere near. I don't think he'd be 450 like Mortarion, because, I mean, granted, we don't have all his rules, but he's not going to have a full page of rules. I don't think.
I think they're going to give him a full page of rules. If the Silent King and Mortarion are any indication, that big model for that army is going to have a page full of rules. And I think Be'lakor fulfills that role for Demons of Chaos. Chaos Demons. This is 40k. Not AOS.
It's also, it makes a lot of sense too, that like, because, unlike in AOS where the demons are split up into the hanging out with their mortal factions, like there's still going to be a Codex Demons. Like, they're not splitting it. And this is the one special character that makes sense with everybody. Like, if you play only Nurgle and you have Be'lakor in your army, it's not weird. At least to me, anyway.
I agree.
I mean, he's the champion of all the gods.
I mean, he's the first Nurgle Demon Prince. He's also the first Demon Prince of everything else.
There you go. But yeah, I saw we'd bring up that news since that news came out. So moving on to Sunday preview, we're finally getting hyped for the pre-order. So we got Piety of Pain, which a rumor told me it's going to be about, I think, like 170.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
So if you were to split this with someone, it's about $85. Which yeah, you'd make money if you split it with a friend.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. But we don't really care about that. The book's coming out. The art's okay. I think they could probably do more with it, but it's okay what it is. The Combat Patrol box.
I'm very curious to know your opinion on this.
I mean, I just finished recording the tier list. I just need to put it up, edit it. But if you're looking at way to save money, this is a pretty good box. Because if this is at what's a normal combat patrol, like 160?
140.
140? You're saving about $60 if you buy this, which is either a raider or 2 units in this box set. Now, are the models good? Raiders and Incubi. Raiders are, in this edition, are not that good. They're great in that if you want to take like a blob of witches, maybe you will put them in a raider, but the transport game is mainly just venoms because they're fast. You just mainly just put a bunch of Cabalite warriors in there, and then you just fly around and shoot out of it. Raiders are a bit too expensive for what they are, because everything that Dark Eldar have is made of toilet paper pretty much. So it's not good to leave out in the open air. The Incubi, as of right now, are not good. They are murderous. They can do a lot of damage. I know with the recent update that we got like in December, being able to hit on 2s. Well, I mean, they would always hit on 2s when they got into combat because of the power of pain. Are niche. They're niche, unfortunately. Because you just got to get them across the board, and they're very glass cannon-y. The only good things I can say is the Cabalite warriors you got are nice. Those are good. Those are always solid. And then the Archon's trash too, but he's a cheap hero to take out of everyone. So now, if the new book has some point adjustments or updates for the Raiders, the Raiders might be good, but you better off with just getting Venoms.
I want to pose a question to you, actually, Matt.
Okay.
Before we go on from that one, just because it sounds like feel like you have this answer in your head already. If you had to make like a start collecting for Dark Eldar, what would it be?
What would it be? Okay. I like covens, but that's no one would ever run a coven combat patrol, so let's just go with the basic. Archon. Let's go with a unit of 10 warriors, a Venom, and then maybe like a Ravager.
Interesting. But so you would still have the Archon though.
Well, if I was to go with well, competitively, yes, I would still have the Archon in there. If I was to put like a special character in there, I mean, I probably Drazar, because at least with Drazar, you'd have given his 8th edition rules, a very combat-y, killy warlord to go across the battlefield and just do a lot of damage. But he's very stupidly broken. But putting him in a combat patrol wouldn't be that bad. I mean, they have Ahriman in a combat patrol. I'm pretty sure they have Typhus in a combat patrol.
They do.
That's true.
So either, I mean, it would be like 10 or 5 Cabalite warriors, and then a Venom. Yeah, I mean, you can do it with just 5 warriors, because the combat patrol is only one troop choice. 5 warriors, a Venom, a Ravager, and then Drazar, probably, if you really wanted to.
That's pretty cool. I mean, this box sounds like you're not. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like you're somewhat pleased with it. Like it's not totally a disaster.
No, I mean, compared to the current combat patrol, which I think is a succubus, bunch of witches and a venom. I'd have to look it up. I don't really remember what's in the current combat
I think we
patrol.
talked about it. I think that is what it is.
I mean, compared to that, this is a lot better. Just because the witches are so meh at this time. They're not that great. And just getting them across the board is hard enough. But this is a solid choice. We don't know how again, we don't have the book, so as far as I know, when the book comes out, the Raiders could be amazing. I don't know if they'll dethrone the Venom spam, but could happen. That's my thoughts on it. Again, if you want to have it, good price. Assuming this is at $140, you're saving $60 off this.
It's a pretty safe bet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So moving on, we got the dice, and I don't know what's GW thinking, but they're really doing the elves dirty with the dice here. Why are they always so plain? Why aren't they like the marbles, like all the other dice? I mean,
Because I hate Xenos, dude.
I probably hate elves too. Let's just be real. I got those Daughters of Cain dice, just solid red, no marble, no texture on it. It's sad.
But very, very readable though.
They are very readable. I will give you that. And again, GW learning, you know, only one symbol. Good on you, G-dubs.
I mean, in terms of hating elves, though, the Lumineth got some of the strangest dice ever. They're like prisms. Those are crazy.
Yeah, those.
I know one person who plays with those dice, and thankfully he mostly just uses them for smaller rolls, and he can read them. I can't read them, but yeah, there's a. I feel like maybe they thought, okay, pointy-eared players, like your dice don't have to have points sticking out of all of them as well. Maybe they just say numbers.
I don't know. I think the worst design dice so far have been those what were they? Were they 30k dice? I don't remember. But they were like a bunch of. It was just a chapter dice, and you had the salamanders were just like a bunch of flames on it. That was pretty bad.
Oh, that was the 40k salamanders dice. Yeah.
Yeah, those. You had there was another one of those dice that were really bad. The original Nurgle dice were really bad.
I think the Deathwatch dice, the first ones, had different colors and different symbols on every single facing, and that was very hard to look at.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy our dice don't look like those. I just wish it wasn't. It's like a solid brick color. Wish they would added a little bit more flair to the classy Dark Eldar, but whatever. It's fine.
I totally see your point.
It's fine. Yeah, I'll live with it. Next on, we finally got our first book, our campaign book, the Warzone Caradon, finally coming out. I don't even remember when they announced this. Wasn't this back?
I think it was a while ago. Months.
This was back in like November, right? During the the preview there, or was this?
Yeah, that
December?
sounds right. No, I think it was. It sounds like it'd be around Thanksgiving. I'm sure I could probably figure it out with some Google foo, but like it was a while ago.
Yeah.
It was because the Death Guard book, they also announced way before it actually happened. At least they announced the delay for that, though.
That's good. So moving on, we got the special edition book. No worries. There we go. We got the new Crusade book finally coming out as well. It's whatever. We got the Skinks Dire Chasm.
Pretty hyped for those. Kind of want them.
So amazing.
They look good.
HD Seraphon, HD Lizardmen. Who could be mad? The only thing that's enraging about those is that Saurus warrior and the Skinks too But like the Saurus in the box and the Chameleon Skink are roughly 12 times better miniatures than the ones that are currently available. One can only dream.
One can only
They're
dream.
so cool. They're so cool, but it also makes the models that we have in the mainline army even worse because you know that the better alternative exists.
Yeah.
One day they'll get updated. One day.
But if they look like that, it's gonna be good.
It's gonna be spicy.
It'll be a spicy one. Like when Zarbag's Gits came out, and there were the plastic cave squigs in there. I think there was just 2 of them, or maybe only even one, and it was just like, wow, this is the dream. And then the dream came true, and now there's plastic squigs everywhere, and it's become mundane. So it's a tough one for GW. You can't win there.
They want it, and then when they get it, they don't want it anymore.
Yep.
That's the hobby life sometimes. Can't please
That's
everyone. Blood Bowl. All right, we're skipping over that. I don't care.
Fantastic.
All right, Lord of the Rings. They getting Treebeard.
He's
Mary,
plastic.
Awesome.
Mary
For
and
them.
Pippin.
Quick beam.
Not plastic.
Quick beam is not plastic.
He's resin.
Oh,
To be fair, he's only on screen for like 3 seconds, so I would much rather have plastic Treebeard. It is so great. What a good sculpt. Also, it's funny because like with a lot of these like new recent like Lord of the Rings plastic sculpts, the fidelity of the models is so good that it almost is just kind of like, oh yeah, of course that's Treebeard right there. And it's like, wait, hold on a second, like that's amazing. It looks exactly like Treebeard. Like weird, no more metal Treebeard. Like this is a huge upgrade.
anything to beat metal, it's always an upgrade. Or resin.
True that.
So we also got Mary Pippin. My Easterling ninjas coming out too.
Yeah.
See, and then we got these dice. This is what I want the Dark Eldar dice to look like.
Those dice are really cool.
It's fine. It's fine. No, not bitter here. It's fine.
No, it's okay. You get nothing.
And Black Library, we got Bravenar book getting limited edition. It's a nice
Ravenor
cover.
returned. Woo!
Nice cover. I still don't like that series of books.
Wait, so you didn't like Ravenor returned?
This is part of the three books,
Isn't
right?
This is all 3, right? It's Ravenor Rogue, Ravenor, whatever the first book was called, and then Ravenor returned, right?
I didn't like the Ravenar series at all. I thought they oh boy, okay.
That's incredible. Well,
Here we go.
That's
They built up Ravenar so much, and he was so lame.
whoa.
He was so lame. His side characters were way more interesting than he was.
Okay, now that's like a problem. That's like a good problem to have. If the side characters are cool, but I mean, because Ravenor was like a side character anyway. Like he's basically the ascended extra who like got his own show.
Yeah, but I mean, he's like extra in this book too. In his own book, they're all like, "Oh my God, Ravener is the most powerful psyker. Oh my God, I'm gonna fight this one psyker who's hasn't been trained at all, but I'm losing to him." Just imagine what would happen if he had trained his mind, and then he just turns into a spirit trout and flies away.
Okay. I can see you have some feelings about this. I defer to your wrath is greater than my ability to defend Ravenor. Ravenor Returned, I think, is an amazing book. The other 2 are fine. I just think the structure of that book is really cool. Like once you find out what's going on, like of the many of like the Black Library things I've read, that one is one you definitely don't want someone to tell you how it ends before you read it. I think that is a really good story. But yeah, Ravenor is he has a funny ponytail and he's whatever.
Yeah, me and Travis could probably go on a huge rant about the Ravenor series.
Does he love Ravenor?
Oh no, we're in the same
Oh.
agreement.
Oh, I see. I gotta like. The problem is we need to find your opposites. We need to find people who think Ravenor is amazing, and then you guys can rave about it for an hour, and it'll be quality content right there.
I mean, we probably rave about it a long time. I did start the Beckwin novels though. So
How is it?
what is it?
That one
Pendant
is
it?
insane.
Pendant's the first book.
Yeah.
I just started it like literally today. So
Oh, that's awesome.
I just got through like the first 3 chapters and that's about it.
That's
Speaking
super
of which,
cool.
how do you guys consume your books? You audio it or you actually read it?
Depends.
Depends.
Like if it's like a really really long book that has a great narrator, um, and like it's more of just like a for fun book, or if it's a book I've already read, I'm more likely to listen to someone read it than I am to reread it physically myself. Like, because then I have to have it on my commute. Like, so the Talon of Horus is one of my favorite Black Library books. Like, it's just a great book in general.
Hell yeah.
Aaron Dembski about him talking about what it's like to be a Chaos Space Marine. That is a book that I read the first time with a Dead Tree copy, and then future rereadings have been I've listened to it. And John, I know you've been listening to more audiobooks lately.
Just for I have less time to sit down and read novels.
Mhm.
I just audiobook because when I drive, I can just put it on.
Yeah,
That's mainly when I listen to it since my commute is like 45 minutes to an hour long. So just put
yeah,
it
that
on the
totally
car.
makes sense. It's also like if you're going for like a hike or if you're going for a jog or something, it's nice to have it on.
No, yeah.
The thing I just started is um, Bloodlines, which is one of the new Warhammer crime novels. Uh, those are something kind of special so far. Like it's interesting to me that Warhammer crime kind of fell under the radar, but also makes sense because it's like kind of like all of the books are set on the same planet, like within the same sort of hive, and it's because of that it develops a really good sense of place. Um, but they're also there's no so far there's no chaos, there's no Astartes, like there's not even any aliens at the moment. It's just kind of like it's very low level Warhammer.
Self-contained hive story.
Yeah, but it's also cool because it's a 40K novel in which you get to see the main character like make popcorn in the first 20 pages. Like he like goes home and has a snack and has to sit down and watches the news. It's kind of cool for that reason. Of and it's the one that I'm listening to is Chris Raitt, who's a great author for Black Library. He's and as far as I know has not made anything bad. So yeah, it's kind of cool, but like they don't hold back on the swearing or like the content of the book. Like they definitely uh, sometimes even like the more sort of centerpiece like Warhammer novels can sometimes feel a little bit like you know there's a great deal of violence on display, but that's kind of as far as it goes. Like the people in the Warhammer Crime book like kind of talk like you would expect people to talk like, which is kind of refreshing.
Talk like an old detective story from back in the
Yeah,
day.
yeah,
Noir
it's
is what
sort of
I was looking for.
yeah, it's sort of cool because like noir is not even my bag, but like it's just kind of an interesting thing that makes the universe feel bigger and more complete. So yeah,
What is that book called again?
it's called Bloodlines. It's part of Warhammer Crime. Warhammer Crime is only 3 books right now, and it's cool because the books because they're set in the same place. Like they're like parallel stories, but like the stories don't always like cross over. And again, I'm only halfway through this first one, but they were recommended to me because like the thing that's most important to me in Black Library novels is if the characters are cool. Like the book can be about something quote unquote important in the lore, but like if it's not written well, like I don't care
Yeah, I understand that.
because I would just read the codex for that.
I'll have to take a
Not
look at it.
not that the codex would be bad, but like not that like that's like written poorly, but like if the events themselves are like the reason that I should care about what I'm reading, like I would rather read it in the history book format as opposed to in prose if the prose is going to be uh nonsense.
Well, I'll take a look at that book series and see how good it is. Because I do like a crime story. That'll be nice.
Hmm.
Uh, and then moving
Anyway, not to
on.
derail you. Yeah.
Moving on. One other book that caught my eye just because of giving its setting. We got the Silent Hunters, which are gonna be the Caradons going into Kamara.
Yeah.
And I'm interested because it's got Dark Eldar in it. So who
Makes
doesn't
sense.
want to see some Space Marines pounding some Dark Eldar in their home turf? So it will be interesting to see because I don't know where this is gonna take place, but last I recall, Kamara, whatever you want to call it, is being flooded with demons. Last I checked,
It'll be
during
interesting.
the
See what happens.
Psychic Awakening. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Komura is just really very cool in general. Like it's there was a unfortunate the novel I ended up not finishing actually, but there was like a Jane Czar solo book. And part of it was on Komura, and that was really cool. And then she left, and then I stopped reading. Uh,
Is that why it's
it's
unfinished?
that's why I didn't finish it because it was just like, all right, we left the you get to see Azrael Vecht just doing his thing. Like he doesn't do any fighting in the book or anything like that. He's just like
He never
he's
does.
he's chilling in his throne room, and it made me excited to hopefully see him in plastic someday. Who knows when that will be? But like it's a cool concept. Like the Drukari do something different that nothing else in the setting is like. Like the space pirate city of like no laws and like impossible geometry and like gravity. Like it's really really cool.
I look forward to it. I look forward to learning more about it. And then, and we got Blood of the Emperor. What is this? Horus Heresy. I don't know. That's more John's department. I don't know if he's excited for that or not.
Interesting if it's short stories like Primarch style, it implied to have like Great Crusade stuff. So that'll be interesting.
I was trying to figure out if they were new stories or if there was a collection of stories that had already been published.
I am curious about the Cathonia stuff. Yeah, I don't know if this is new. Who knows?
It's if it is, that'd be really cool.
We'll have to find out, I guess, with our local 30K player, John. I'm sure he'll
Yeah.
fill us in. But that's the Sunday preview. That's all that's going to be up for pre-order next week. Lots of stuff. But now we can go on to today's news of Monday. And as Will had mentioned earlier, here we go. We got our first look at a Redemptionist model. It's finally coming.
It happened.
Actually happened.
My meat grinders or corpse grinders, whatever the hell they're called, going on the shelves. Gotta make room for the real gang here.
Yeah.
And I'm excited. So we finally got that, which probably any hardcore Necromunda player probably already knew this was coming, given the Necromunda news that came out 2 weeks ago. The flamethrower, chainsword, and everything. But yeah, it looks nice. It looks plastic. It doesn't look like resin.
I'm hoping he's part of a plastic gang box. That would be cool.
I mean, if he's a
just be-
gang, then he's definitely plastic, because there are no resin-only gangs, as far as I know.
Yes, and let's hope it stays that way.
Yeah. Right.
It's only like the Forge World extra bits, that are
But
usually
Forge
resin.
World they're great at making upgrades. I think that's the thing that they excel at the most. Like they make cool designs, but like they resin. I think the medium is used best when it's bits
I
that
agree.
are upgrading or offering more alternatives to plastic kits. Because like we don't have bits orders no more, and we don't have bits orders because that's just not how it works. And I would much rather have like plastic sprues than I would have the variety of metal bits. But like Forge World can kind of, Forge World is like a big reason that like Necromunda has had its sort of reemergence. So I think it would be cool if this was plastic and they offered upgrades for it.
I'm sure they will. That's how they make a lot of their money. It was those upgrade kits. But that's pretty much it on that. On that short news of New Model Monday, which so far every New Model Monday has been pretty good, pretty banger.
I agree.
Totally.
So, speaking of that, we got our Warhammer preview, Faith and Damnation, coming up this Saturday. And given the silhouettes I see here, looks like one of them's going to be that Mechanicus Sergeant that they're finally going to show off. I'm going to assume the guy with the arrow is going to be, what's the giant bone man called? Osrak?
Oh, that's going to be Bone Reaper Underworld team.
Yeah, it's going to be the Bone Reaper Underworld team. And then the other image, I would assume something with AOS, probably Soulblight.
Yeah, I think it's Soulblight. I agree.
So, and then the Necromunda, they already spoiled that. That's going to be all about the Redemptionist. So, and unfortunately, there's not really much to predict here. Cause, I think this is the first one where we actually know what's all going to happen.
Right. I mean, it'd be cool to see what those finally look like. So that's pretty hype.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's looking like probably Mechanicus is coming out next for 40k then. Maybe.
Oh, yeah, Mechanicus box set or something.
Yeah. Something with this special character. I don't know if they're going to be doing another 2-player set. I would kind of hope not, but...
Oh, you know they will.
Probably. I don't know who they'd fight, but, at this point, I wouldn't put it past them. But, yeah, I don't think there's really much to discuss here since I think we all know what's going to happen this Saturday.
Yeah.
So I think we can move on to just the rant hobby section. Unless you guys have anything you want to touch upon.
Nothing really.
No, I think you covered it well.
All right, then. So, I think I'll start off because I got some stuff to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So I finally finished the video. I finished recording. I still have to edit the tier list for the Dark Eldar of this current edition. So this is before the book. It's coming out. This is just what they are, pure Dark Eldar. I did a little tier list thing, kind of lazy, but, whatever. I didn't know how else to explain it.
I mean, those are always fun. There's a reason. We have great content like Tier Zoo out there. Like, tier lists are enjoyable. It's fun to make them. It's fun to break them. It's fun to compare them. Like, I'm definitely excited about yours.
Oh, thank you. So we did that. I did that. John was nice enough to invite me over to play some Star Wars Legion. So I finally did a game of Star Wars Legion. And it was interesting. It played a lot like Bolt Action. Which, did Fantasy Flight do Bolt Action? I'm not sure.
No, that's Warlord Games.
Warlords, right. Played a little bit like Bolt Action. And all in all, I thought it was a fun game. Of course, John was going easy on me, so of course I took the dub, no problem. I'm sure if it was a real game, if it wasn't a learning game, I'm sure it would have been a different story. But
I mean, even if that is true, you can't fault them for it. Let the Wookiee win is a great way to get people into things.
Of course, you gotta give them that little hit of dopamine. You're like, yeah, see, you like that winning feeling? Now here, just spend some life savings on some plastic crack.
Don't forget
here.
this feeling. Don't forget it. You may not see it for some time. I did not, in fact, hear sort of the big hits of your game, but I'm glad it sounds like it was fun. That's the important thing.
Yeah, well, we had some Royal Guard go against some Mandalorians, and just a bunch of nothing happening in that close combat phase. I think the Mandos actually won out in combat.
Yeah, I think they did.
They it's the jump packs are hard to hit with the long sticks.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it was fun. I definitely consider picking it up. Probably getting in getting into it. Again, I mean, it's not that expensive. Going by what John's told me and looking at the prices on my own to start up a small force. So I'll look forward to that. This week, though, I do plan on doing another bat rep. Hopefully, have my Necrons do some Space Marine killing. I don't know. Don't know what my opponent will be running yet, but look forward to that in probably 2 weeks. Just give him my busy schedule, and hopefully the tier list by Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, John? How about you? How was your week?
What did I do? I played some more Legion. I played against Donnie on Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday, Thursday. Played some more Rebels vs Empire, but I took the defeat this time because holy crap, Stormtroopers can hit pretty hard, especially with some good upgrades and whatnot. And we did some Black Crusade over the weekend with Will. Black Crusade is the old Fantasy Flight Chaos RPG, so that was pretty fun. We had two of our party, so it's Will's DMing, and it's me and two of our friends, and two of them haven't played Black Crusade before, and one of them is super new to the 40k, so it's interesting being exposed to lore that you don't really see in the tabletop, like how powerful Space Marines can really be, for example, or how kind of crazy it is inside of a Chaos Marine warship and all that. So it was fun. It was fun.
You popping that
Yeah,
40k cherry, huh, for that new guy?
he plays the tabletop game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's just not as familiar with the background just by nature of like it's not something that I don't think it's truly something that's been of much interest to him. But I think he might. He said himself like one of the reasons he was excited to play the game, play Black Crusade, was it was an excuse to like learn the lore in a more kind of organic way, as opposed to just watching a bunch of videos about it or reading the novels or something like that. Like so, hopefully that'll be kind of a good gateway for him. And then what models have you been working on, John?
So I've been painting some Mandalorians, finishing up my rebel army. So I think it's just this, and I kind of want to work on these clone ATRTs, but after that, I don't know what I'm going to work on next. Probably I finished my Black Crusade character, and I'm working on his pre-heresy version just for fun. But yeah, I'm not sure what my next big project will be. We'll see.
That's good. And what about you, Will?
I've been working on bolt action.
Oh, going into World War II, huh?
No. I've been painting bolt action models for use as adversaries in Black Crusade.
Oh, that's interesting use.
Yeah, because
the scale of the humans is more suited to giant Chaos Space Marines coming and kicking their faces in and foot punching them. So it's actually kind of a brilliant idea. It was John came up with it, but there's a number of models that actually are very appropriate. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. That's what I'm doing this week.
So wait, is Black Crusade more like miniatures game? I thought it was like D&D kind of thing.
I mean, you can use miniatures in all sorts of RPGs if it's like suited to it. But for the purposes of combat, we're going to be trying to use miniatures where possible. Partially as an excuse to use the minis we already have, but also as just kind of it's more fun to throw dice at something if you can see the mini.
Okay, I get it. Yeah, it's what I use for 5e when I used to play that back in the day.
Yeah, a lot of the 5e that I do doesn't involve miniatures, particularly since there's the whole virtual thing at the moment. But for Black Crusade, like it made sense. Like John painted up a pretty cool model. Like our other buddies have some pretty heavily converted stuff. One of which is fully painted. It's pretty awesome actually. But I gotta paint bad guys. So that's what I've been working on.
Well, you guys have any plans this week? Any hobbing, or is it just gonna be like Star Wars Legion, Black Crusade kind of deal?
I know it's Black Crusade on the weekend. Probably some more Legion on the week. We'll see.
Yeah, this might be a little harder of a week for me for Legion just because I got to paint all the Black Crusade stuff. But I might still find time for it. Also, because having a break will be good. So many trousers. I
Contrast.
don't know what any. Yeah, no. Contrast is definitely going to be vital to the success of this mission. But like, it's funny because like when you get a bolt, when you get like a bolt action, instruction booklet, it tells you like these are all of these things. I'm like, what is an STG 47 BR 19? It's like this was like a gun that somebody used 80 years ago. It means nothing to me. And I'm sure somebody listening right now is going to be like, dude, how could you confuse the SGT 4817 with the GW 9095S? Like, oh my God.
Yeah, man, don't mess
Who
with
is this
those
poor
historical
person?
gamers. They'll go in on you.
Yeah. They know Sun Tzu.
They know the art of war. They read it front and back.
They read it front and back. In the original language and in all the translations.
There you go. Well, I think we'll call it there. It was fun to discuss.
Yeah.
Okay. As always.
Hopefully, I'll have more to talk about Legion. Maybe we'll get another game in this week. We'll see. We'll see how the schedules work out. But until next time, it was fun to have you guys.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Yeah. Always good. Talk some hobby.
Of course. And then we'll see everyone else next time.
Have a good one, everyone.
Take it easy.